لا لا بعد ليلة واصل معه مثلا تذكرني في الماب هو في عشان تصعدهم من هو قاعد بس هو هذا يا يجي وين مو ندور على البول أول حاجة يا حبيبي هذا هو كنت معهم في البيت ما كنت شارك أكيد طبعا حيكون له غالبا طبعا لا ما بالعكس كده خلاص سيبيها كده كده كل لا بس هو لأنه هو يقول لك هذا الشركة
Test. Right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everybody. So my name is 𝐈𝐈𝐔𝐌, and today I will be the moderator for this session. Disclaimer, early disclaimer, I'm standing here for this session only as a moderator for this session, my chairman of IIUMSU. So do respect my question and my arguments, and also the greeting that I will ask the candidates here in front of us. And also, I just want to brief on the rules of the debates or the rules of the debates. So basically, we have 3 sessions, and each session will comprise of 30 minutes. So 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and it will be around 1 hour and 30 minutes, 90 minutes. And also, the first session, the answer that they can ask according to time is for the first session, they have 5 minutes to answer, and then the other session they have around 2 to 3 minutes to answer each question that the moderator will ask. And also, the rules of the debate is that they have to sit separately. You can't communicate between among you, right? So that is clear. You can't communicate among you, and you can rebut each other. So for the first session, it will be the simple manifesto presentation, around 5 minutes each candidate, and they will present a manifesto. But for the second one is on the question that will be asked by the moderator. So on that, every candidate can interject or rebut any points that the other candidates present. Is that clear? Right? So is that clear? Okay. Right, again, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So welcome everyone, a very good evening. And today we'll have the election debate for the International Affairs seat, the central seat that we contest, that we contest. So the first candidate for tonight is Brother Hasan Al Banna, third year from KICT, Brother Mohammed Hamdan, master's first year from KENMS, Brother Sylla Issiaga, third year from KOE. So okay, without further ado, I think, is everyone ready? Yes. Right, so without further ado, I invite Brother Hamdan to present his manifesto for 5 minutes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, apa khabar? Alhamdulillah. Today I'm gonna explain you guys my manifesto. As you guys already know my name, as you can read. I'm doing masters in economics and marketing. Inshallah, I chose to run for this international seat. I have a few reasons, which I have personally issued, personally experienced as well. Not to delay, I'll just start with my manifesto. First one being the visa issue, of course, visa issue. As we all, I think the majority here sitting are international students. So we all have suffered the visa issue due to delay, due to the entry procedures, etc. So what I would love to do is to, once I get into the position of the international affairs seat, I would take this as my main priority for all the international students abroad and here who example, who wants to go for vacation and then come back. Due to pandemic, they cannot. They need another single entry visa, then a special pass, then the process. So what I can do is I can promise you the process being faster, easy, and for the new admissions who are struggling to come even this semester. I personally have in my class, have half of the class are still in abroad due to the red list, due to the pandemic situation and the visa issue, which still they are suffering. Second one being becoming unity in university. What do I mean by that? From now on, I'm not going to call Malaysian students and international students. I'm going to just call IIUM students, because that segregation, that separation, I would want to avoid. So unity in university, what I would like to do is bring all of them together, not only Malaysian students and international students. I'm talking about Gombak campus, Pago campus, and Kuantan campus. Third one being more programs, more intercultural programs, not only in Gombak, all three campuses. An example, if we have a big program in Gombak campus, I would like to invite and make sure they attend the Pago campus and the Kuantan campus. They should not feel left out. Even they are IIM students. More importantly, they are part of us, so they should not be excluded. So, example, if there is a program, big program in Pago campus or Kuantan campus, as IIM students, we should be able to attend their programs as well. And any programs, it should not be like Pago campus is organizing or Kuantan campus is organizing. Everybody has to take part. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Hamdan. So I'll pass on to Brother Issiaga for his minister presentation. You have 5 minutes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. Bonsoir pour ceux qui comprennent le français. I know that most of you guys cannot understand, so I will translate. I mean, good afternoon again. Okay, my name is Issiaga Sylla. I decided to run for the international affairs seats for so many reasons. So you guys are here to know what are those reasons. So I've been a student in IIUM for like 3 years. I've got the opportunity to face all the challenges that I've put in my manifesto. The first one is having a problem to integrate with all the students, not only locals, but with students from other countries as well. So I put that point in my manifesto so that I can help the new students or the upcoming students for the next semesters to not face the same problem that I was facing. Which brings me to my first point, facilitating the integration among all the students, regardless of your background. You are Malay, Guinean, Arab, African, Chinese. We have to have an environment in our university that allows that integration to happen. That's my first point. My second point is the visa issues. 6 months ago, during pandemic, I faced the visa problem. I had to go back in my country, as they always remind you in the office. If you are mad, go back to your country. So if I'm elected, we know that's a problem that we are all facing, but we need people that will not make put that your face every time you are in the office. We need people that are sympathetic to a situation. They can understand. We know that they are not facing the same problem, but at least they can feel the pain or like the struggles that the international students are going through when they go to the visa units. So my plan will be, if I win, inshallah, to have staff in the international, in the visa units that first can have an empathy toward the problems or the struggles that we are facing as international students. The second one is to, because sometimes the problems are from students, because we cannot always blame the office, but sometimes students delay to send their document. We have to make sure that we have a platform that will allow the students to know the exact procedures to follow every time, so that they will not be in that situation where they will have to be in, as they say, when your visa expires, what's that? There is a word. Someone can help me? Overstay. Thank you, brother. Overstay. Because if you are in overstay, you have to pay a huge amount of money to be in a normal situation. I will recall, my first point is to facilitate the integration among all the students, regardless of your origin. The second point is to facilitate the procedures in the visa unit's office, especially. I know we are facing other problems, but that's the main one, because without visa, we cannot be here in Malaysia, right? The last point, and I do believe one of the most important points of my manifesto, is taking our university on a global scale. What do I mean by a global scale? We are in 2022. Being just an international student is not enough anymore. We have to be a global university. A global university is that most of the students you notice here are Muslims or are from Muslim countries. Thank you for reminding me. I know. Most of the students, as I was saying, they are from Muslim backgrounds. So we need to take our university in the West, or everywhere, not only in the West, but African, even those who are not Muslim countries. So how can we do that? The last 10 years of international office, they were able to do some collaborations that we will be leveraging on. They collaborated with Masterclass. They have soon a TED Talk coming. And then we can collaborate with a lot of international organizations, or even other students' union from other countries, to make the name of our university go on the international level. To end this presentation, I will remind you my manifesto. The first one is facilitating the integration among all the students. The second one is helping the students with the visa problems. And the last one is going global, because we have to go big or we go home, as said by Rahman. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Right, thank you so much, Brother Issiaga, for the 5 minutes of your manifesto. Now we'll go to Brother Hasan Al Banna Siddiki. 5 minutes for your manifesto presentation.
نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Thank you everyone for coming today, and first and foremost I'd like to thank all of you to come here in your busy schedule, because it's at the end of the semester almost, so thanks again. So let me introduce myself. My name is Hasan Al Banna Siddiki. I'm from Bangladesh, and I'm a third year student of School of Information and Communication Technology. And before I proceed to my manifesto and everything, let me share my background. So I came to UAE back in 2018. So since my first semester, I was involved with the club and societies and many activities. I joined Al-Aqsa Friends Society. I joined SIZ, and I joined ICTSS as an officer, and I joined ISC and also Bangladesh community. So right now I am working Al-Aqsa as a president, ISC as a vice president, and Bangladesh community as a coordinator. And also previously we have organized many programs under the venue of the ISC, and latest Eid celebration, Ramadan gathering, and launching of International Friendship Family Program. This is basically a program for integration between local and international. And also under the banner of IIUMSU, we had organized Global 𝘓𝘢𝘢𝑥 Festival back in 2021 December. I was the program manager for Asian Night, and also we organized 𝘓𝘢𝘢𝑥 Food Festival. I was the program manager. So this is some of my background. So some of you might think like what I did for local and international other than this kind of programs. During COVID-19, I was working with the COVID-19 welfare team. I was PIC for Mohalla Ali, and during OPS Polang, I was one of the committee, and also I was part of the COVID-19 swing brigade. So this is my work or achievement. So some of you might wonder that. Thank you. Some of you might wonder that am I only working with the co-curricular or student activism? No, I also focus on my study as well. From my first semester, alhamdulillah, all of the semester I got delisted. So, as a student, I think it's necessary to have a balanced life, especially for international students. We came from thousands of miles away, so we should have a balance between the co-curricular and study. And let's move to my manifesto. The first manifesto is to bring all international students concerned to relevant authorities and put forward for a real solution. So who are the real relevant authorities and real solution is the university officials, EMJs and immigration. In my relation and connection with the Office of International Affairs and State, inshallah, I will try to bring all of the international students concerned, especially for welfare and visa and other matters as well. Because visa is not only one program that is facing by international students. There are many students who has financial problem. So inshallah, we'll try to collaborate with outside NGO and to facilitate them with funding, inshallah. And the second manifesto is to establish a one-stop center for international students and facilitate academic matters, welfare matters, and visa matters. Why that we need a one-stop center? Because we have many students, they are new students, they came to UAE at the beginning, they doesn't have any idea what to do, how to apply for visa, how to registration for courses, and for many students came to self-pay, they started English, how to move forward basically. So inshallah, we will facilitate from our office for welfare matters and academic matters and other matters as well. The third manifesto that I'd like to mention is that to promote ukhuwah, brotherhood, and 𝘓𝘢𝘢𝑥 spirit between the local and international students through intercultural engagement. As I have shared that as the program manager for 𝘓𝘢𝘢𝑥 and also for food festival, Ramadan gathering, inshallah, through my experience that I have, inshallah, I will contribute for the student union and we will bring student union move forward. And also, recently we have established an international friendship family program. Through international friendship family program, inshallah, I believe for next Hari Raya, 𝐈𝐈𝐔𝐌, we will go to the kampung and we celebrate with the locals for 𝐈𝐈𝐔𝐌. I am working on that as a program manager. So, inshallah, I believe if I win, we can move the division between the local and the international, and we will be united, inshallah. And before I finish, for 30 more seconds, before I finish, we fought, we fight in the election, or we stand in the election like Issiaga and Hamdan. It's because of a brotherhood and convenience. It's not because we want to become a something. You know, the main focus is let's work for the betterment of the students. Let's choose who has experience, who has integrity, who has honesty, and who you think that can do something for the students. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Be careful to the desk. Public property.
Right, thank you so much. Right, settle down, please, settle down. Alright, now we'll go to the second session or the second round. I have to remind again that you can interject or you can rebut at these points. So, okay, brother. Brother, settle down. Brother, settle down. Brother, can you see me? Once again, you have to go outside. Okay, settle down. Right. For the second session, I have to remind that the candidates can oppose each other's point or interject or rebut each other's points. So the question goes like this. For Brother Issiaga, for your second manifesto, you mentioned that to ensure that the needs of the international students community are taken care of. Okay. So is this manifesto try to bring a narrative that only international students will gain benefits from this office, the International Affairs Office? This is the central seat that will be voted by all IIUMSU members, regardless of their nationality or campus. My question is, will your efforts focuses only on international students, or it will also include local students because they are voting for this seat too? You have 3 minutes, and I have to remind again that the other candidates can oppose or interject or rebut each point too. Thank you.
Salam again. Thank you for the question. Before I start speaking, I can see that I'm running for the International Affairs seat. I have 3 points in my manifesto. The first one is to integrate everyone. Every student will be benefiting from it. The third one is for the university to go on a global scale, which also will be benefiting everyone. But I'm running for International Affairs seat. To be objective, I have to target the people, the seat I'm running for. This seat is for the international seat. It's named International Affairs seat. The main problem that international students are facing is the visa unit. Do you guys agree with me? I believe you agree with me. Yalla. You agree with me, right? I want to hear it. I'm running for everyone. I want to remind you, this is our unity, our union, and this is our office, international office. And that point is for every international to benefit from. It's not only Guineans or Arabs or Yemenis or Bangladeshi or Indians. So to come back to your question, my manifesto doesn't include only one point. That point will mainly focus on the international students. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Brother Issiaga. So I hope that, I think it's fair to say that this is an international affairs seat, contesting under a central seat that will be voted by all students of IIM, regardless of their nationality or campuses, and etc. So, okay, so the next question is to Brother Hasan. Your second manifesto said that to establish a one-stop center for international students and facilitate visa, welfare, and academic matters. The point is, why is there a need for an exclusive welfare and academic efforts for the international students when we already have both the Office of Education and also the Office of Welfare in IIMSU that caters to all students? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Brother Nabil. It's an excellent question. I think I just need clarification as you asked. So, as I mentioned, the first part of my second manifesto is to establish a one-stop center. So, what is meaning the one-stop center? This is the place where all the students can come and get their solution, or will redirect to the current channel to the respective office. It's not only under the IIM Student Union, it can be the university management, also it can be the outside, especially the immigration. And the second part is to why I mentioned specifically academic, welfare, and visa. As there is another welfare office under the IIUMSU and an academic office. So the main thing, the academic matter is that, so we have many international students from different countries, from different backgrounds, who has the language barrier. Who has problem to communicate with the local students and university management and everyone. Obviously, that's why IIM Student Union are. IIM Student Union is the place where students can bring all of their concern. If they couldn't get a solve from the university management, we are the one who will raise the issue to the proper channel and proper management with a proper manner. Yeah, I do have the plan. That's why there is the manifesto. Okay, I will share you after in the question from Brother Nabil. So, why the academic office and welfare office? So, those new students who come and they doesn't have the capacity to contact, they doesn't know who to contact, because for local students, they came from CFS, they are already in UIA. Most of the students came from CFS, so they know the rules and regulation of UIA, and that doesn't have to go through the CELPED and APT and EPT. So from our office, we will help. That's why we mentioned international students, one-stop center for international students, to facilitate them for their academic matters, for registration. We will facilitate them to on the first day, and also during the third week, we'll help them with the academic matters and throughout their study, and also for welfare and well-being. We'll try to get scholarship from outside and also from the welfare office of the state, and we'll connect. Will be the bridge between the students, because for local students we have some scholarship, PPTN, and some others. But for international students, it's very limited. So we'll guide them. We'll guide them how to get it if they need it actually. And for the question you asked, is that why? Sorry, pardon me. Can I have the question, please? Yeah, I have the plan. It's sustainable because we need a one-stop center, because there is many international students who face many problems. As I mentioned, academic and welfare, sometimes they become sick at the night. There is no one to help them because they doesn't have any family in Malaysia. For new students, they doesn't have any friends also. So from SU, we will be the one who is going to facilitate for every matters, inshallah.
But the one-stop, the name one-stop center is not even sustainable. One-stop, you come once and then you go. But we need
this is our job. This is my main priority, to have one stop, because if you come to one stop center, you can solve all of your problems in one place. You don't have to go to different offices, to your friends, to different people to ask what is the solution, what is the comments on a particular matter.
But I believe when I came into the university, there was a hotline, hotline for admissions, for visa. Personally, Brother Pakir has called to explain the procedure. So I think that is already existing.
Okay, so the hotline, I don't think is running for 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But that's why we need the one-stop center, and especially for international students. And I don't think Brother Imam mentioned he's not responsible for take the phone, because there are specific officers, I believe, to.
everyone is responsible. The whole lineup.
Whole lineup. Thank you, Brother Hashim. So, you need a team, not only one person, not only one phone call, because you have to come on to face to face. You can sit and you can discuss. Through the phone call, if we solve all the problems, there is no need of officials in UIA. There is no need of IIM Student Union. We can sit in our dorm and we can solve all of our problems. Then no need of Wadibudi itself. Yes, sir?
Are you done?
Oh, yeah, I'm finished. If you doesn't have any more questions now. Okay, thank you.
Okay, right. Thank you so much for your side, and thank you for the interjection and also remarks from other candidates. Now we go to Brother Hamdan on your manifesto and also on your posters, etc. You said that you are you're a master's student, first year KENMS. I believe this is maybe the first time in UAE. Okay, so talking about credibility to running as an IIMSU officer. As a first year student in IIM, how many experiences do you have in dealing with the administration where we're talking about all IIM administration and not only your respective kuliah KENMS? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Brother Nabi, for the question. Yeah, I might be new in the university, but I have done my bachelor's as well in an university. So as well as there, I was in international affair. I have done customer support, helping the communities in their admission purposes. Because that time I studied my bachelor's business of administration back in Bahrain. I'm Indian, but I've done my bachelor's in Bahrain for 3 years. There we didn't have any visa issue or any unity because it's not my country. Even I am a guest over there, as I'm a guest in Malaysia. But there I was responsible for admission affairs and new students, sports. I was a captain of sports. I have managed a team in admission in my university, and I came 5 months back to Malaysia, and I am already part of a community called Nebras Library where I'm a head of marketing. I have done Master of Ceremony in 𝘓𝘦𝘢𝐿𝐷. That was my next week, 1 week after coming to Malaysia. So you see the impact. It's easy for me to communicate, come in unity with people, ask them what they need rather than ask them what I need. I am ready to serve I think that's a big example where I can mention is, as I said, 1 week after landing to Malaysia, without knowing a single person, I became a master of ceremony. It was a huge success. Sorry.
Do you think you can leverage the experience you have?
Not exactly. As I said, this is just a beginning. I still have time ahead. And inshallah, within the upcoming year, if I get selected, if I get the seat, you guys will see a big impact. What is the difference between the last year and what is happening right now? And last year was by the SU itself have done a really good job, but there was a limitation due to pandemic, due to COVID, due to online classes, online programs. I have a great opportunity which have already crossed. The pandemic is no more. Now there is no SOPs. As you can see, there is no gaps. So yeah, I believe that answers your question.
Okay. For the point, I was the program manager for the event that you were MC.
Okay. How was it?
As you mentioned,
All right.
do you have the idea how many kind of sessions you have? Also not only the sessions, the Wi-Fi session. Do you know who to really target? Like, let's say I'm a student, someone's like from my family. Do you know who to really target? Which officials? How we are going to solve it?
Good question.
That's the only because people see you definitely how yeah.
No worry. Of course, I must be knowing as a candidate, I am running for an international affairs seat. There are processes which mainly I don't want to elaborate on this as my time is short. I'm answering. Bole jawab. So there are processes, as in there is visa unit. As everybody knows where is visa unit. when you apply for a visa as a new admission or as a once your visa gets expired, you need to renew. You'll have to face these processes, which I have already experienced and I have known. It's not like I'm simply running for the candidate. I ask my friends, international students, what are your concerns? What are your problems? Which I can help, which I can proceed and make it faster for you, make the process faster, because some students don't know which document to proceed, which all documents need to be taken, which all documents need to submit. So there's a process where the visa unit you submit, and then there goes the EMGS, and then there goes the immigration. Sorry.
Are you aware of the kind of issues students are facing, especially particularly for different visa issues? Like sometimes students cannot renew their visa because of the passport issues. They cannot renew their passport, they cannot renew their visa due to this. So these are one of the issues that students are facing. And also the question of the Wi-Fi method. If there is an issue with the international student, who will be specifically there is a management invited for helping students for Wi-Fi. Do you know?
Yes, international, as you are a vice president, I don't have to mention that. Plus the one which you said, where the visa passport gets expired or visa gets expired, there are offices, there are immigration process where you have to submit the passport, where the documents has to be submitted. There are prior documents need to be submitted. So there are offices for this, and this I will not be working for sure. I will not be working alone in the international affairs seat. There will be a team, special task for visa, special task for visa renewal, special task for passport. So
who should they go if they have Wi-Fi problem? Who should you communicate if students facing Wi-Fi issues or financial issues? You are not aware of that. Is it?
Your question is not clear.
I am asking, like, do you know, like, which offices? I'm repeating my question. Which offices we should go if I have Wi-Fi issues, if I have financial issues? Which office you should redirect?
As an IIM student, there is office for welfare. I think yes, in SU there is office for welfare. Sorry,
I am asking university office.
sorry.
University office, university management.
I think we are running for the IIM SU seat, not university seat.
SU doesn't have the capacity to help all the students for Wi-Fi matters.
Sure.
I'll answer the question. If there is any problem for international students, you have to go to state. State has a welfare office, now international office, and state student development. They are integrated for Wi-Fi matters of all the local and international students. So if you are facing the problem, you have to go to state, but you are not aware of this. How should you pass it?
Sure. Thank you for clarifying, Hasan.
You have to study book.
Yalla.
I am. Actually, I am, but
I have a question.
Sure.
Are you planning to work alone? We have
For sure.
41 seats in IIUMSU.
As last year it was 1 seat, but this year there is 2 seats. Plus, nobody can work alone. Nobody is perfect. There will be a team, as I mentioned, special task for visa related, special task for admission related. So, I believe I answered that question. Yeah, because I'm running for international affairs, not the president seat.
The thing is, only one office for international students. There is not many offices.
I am satisfied with your answer. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love the debate. I love the heated debates. Can we give a round of applause for the cadets of International Affairs? Right. So now is 9 p.m. I will proceed to the question that now the question will all the candidates have to answer. You have a time allocation of 3 minutes each. Yeah. So the first question is on. All the candidates carry the manifesto to promote intercultural integration. What unique measure do each candidate carry into term, and does it have a possibility of failures? So I think you have to
contextualize this question in terms of intercultural integration. So give example, give the practicality of your intercultural integration in your manifesto. Also, the initiative that you have did, and also what you want to do if you're elected in as an officer of international affairs in IIMSU. The first one goes to Hasan Al Banna.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, sorry. The rule is still the same. Other candidates can interject, also rebut your point.
Pardon me, can you repeat the question again?
Alright, so all candidates carry the manifesto to promote intercultural integration. What unique measure do each candidate carry into term, and does it have a possibility of failures?
Thank you. All of that in my manifesto, I choose that is no possibility for failure, inshallah. So for the intercultural engagement that I mentioned in my manifesto, that will promote ukhuwah and ummatic spirit through intercultural engagement. So what does it mean by intercultural engagement? So we'll have a collaboration with the clubs and societies for many programs. And also, as I mentioned that we launched recently an international friendship family program to integrate between the local and international. So I believe, inshallah, through this kind of programs and also the Ummatic Festival and other events, a dialogue, conversation, the presentation, the fair, there is a program by IIUMSU, is the celebration, etc. I believe through this kind of program, we'll integrate the local and international, inshallah.
Sorry, I have a comment there. You're talking about interculture, and you did all those programs, those great programs. Congratulations. But how do you measure the intercultural integration? So I don't want to know how many programs that you did, but I want to know how effective is it, the programs for the intercultural integration.
Okay, so as you mentioned, I did many programs. So I will give the example from my last program, the celebration. So for each celebration, we had participants for 54 countries. So all of the people, all of the students for 54 countries came together in one place. This is one of the way for integration, and all of the students celebrate together. Although they came from different background, different race, different things, but within the one place, they are celebrating, they are taking picture, they're enjoying. So I believe through this kind of program and through dialogue, presentation, to share our intercultural to other, I think it's gonna be very easy. I think it's not gonna be tough, as you said, there is failure or not. I believe, inshallah, because my tenure is for 1 year. So I will start and I will continue the process for the next comers, inshallah. It's not gonna be happen within a short period of time. It's a long journey, but as the mission and vision of UIA is this Islamization and internationalization.
Internationalization, okay. You are talking about continuing, right? When you leave, you want what you are building to continue, right?
I am to build something that is stable, that is not only for only.
So that it can be, you mean you want it to be sustainable after you?
Obviously, no doubt.
Now the question. Thank you for doing this. We have an international affairs. They laid a foundation for us. Do you think you are going through that sustainability of their effort?
You know, in my main poster, I mean, let's make a real change. Let's give our hopes, restore our spirits. I think we will get the answer.
That's not an answer, you just shouted. I just want to remind you, this is not a campaign. They called it a debate. So you are not here to shout. If you want to shout, you can go to the campaign. If I ask any question, you have to answer.
Everyone has their own spirit. As I mentioned, spirit, let's revive our spirit and restore our hopes. When it comes to the spirit, there is a spirit from one side.
What do you mean by spirit?
If you don't understand the meaning of the spirit, then
Who understands spirit?
Why you show it? Why you show it, man?
Who understands
Why you
spirit?
show it? Why you show it? Why you show it?
Who understands spirit? Yalla, come on.
If you don't understand, you can use
Alright, settle down.
feel bad.
Right, settle down. So,
Ask you people to respect themselves first, okay?
Thank you for the love.
right, settle down.
It's the kind of love.
What kind of love? I think you need a girlfriend, not a
Right,
yourself.
right. Settle down, brother. Settle down.
If you don't love someone, you don't really care about
I love
them.
you.
It's not. It's the love that you don't know how to express. So thank you.
we compete. As I mentioned, we compete in the election based on the ukhuwa. It's not because we want to divide. We want to make unity among ourselves. It's not going to be through. If you attack someone or I am attacking someone, it's not going to be like this. It doesn't mean that.
It's a question. Is it sustainable?
Alright.
You said change.
Right, so finish your points. You have another 1 minute. Finish your points.
Inshallah, as I wasn't in the IIUMSU office last year, but although I wasn't there, but I did my part. Someone approached me from the office of the International Affairs. They approached me, and I agreed. I agreed to make integration. I agreed to continue the programs, and also, for student union
You said you were not in the office. What change are you talking about? You don't know what was going on.
I mean, real change. There are changes. Not all the changes are
You
real.
change something, you know whether it's going good or bad. If you know, then you can make change. But you said you were,
as you are still mentioning about the visa issue, that means that it hasn't solved yet. You are mentioning about visa issue, visa matters, so it's not solved yet. So does it mean that there was a real changes? What do you guys think?
No change at all.
So if there wasn't any real change,
Only show
so okay, thank you.
Right, thank you. So, thank you, Brother Hasan Al Banna. Right, so the same question to Brother Hamdan. You have 2 minutes. Do you want me to repeat the question? Right, so the question is, all the candidates carry the manifesto to promote intercultural integration. What unique measure do each candidate carry into term, and does it have a possibility of failures? Thank you.
Thank you, Nabil, for the question. So you're asking, is there a possibility of failure? As I mentioned, nobody is perfect. We had a lot of programs where we had only minor flaws, internal, where only the committee came to know that there is a flaw. But if you ask the audience, how was the December Ummatik? How was the masterclass last week? Any program, they will only say it was really good. I'm happy to attend. So the main objective of intercultural program is to bring, as I mentioned, all the IIM students together. It is not for star points. You don't get any certificates for attending. There are some programs without food, but still people attend. Why? Because they want to experience. This is a university life. That is what my third manifesto highlights: more programs, more intercultural programs, so that we as an IIM students get to experience not only studying, get to experience all the programs, all different kinds of programs, different community programs, sports. If I mention sports, I believe almost the majority here are interested in sports. It doesn't have to necessarily be intercultural programs related to nationality basis or kulia based. It even can be sports, because I will honest.
In UAE, there is two terms. If you look at the state or any other offices documentation, local and international, and this is real. You cannot just change to students, this is another point. It's not only in UAE, it's all about the world. There's local students, there is international students, and every university has departments for this to integrate the student. In another state, there is an office integration unit. So in every place there is something any office specifically for this kind of things. And also you mentioned that you are going to arrange sports or program. That's great. But what else you are going to do for the students to become more integrated other than only to rely on the programs?
So to answer your first question, as you mentioned, there's already an office, but IIM Student Union is not under IIUM management. So whatever they do is what they do. What we are doing, what I'm running for is to make all the students, I don't mind you segregating locals and internationals, but for me, everybody is an IIM student, no matter if it's Gokak or
The question was like, what is the unit of measure? How do you know that your plan is a success or not? Can you share about that, about your plan? How do you measure the outcome?
How do you measure the outcome? By the audience, the number of audience. Second, by the number of comments you get. If it's the critics, the comments you get. If the program was good or the program was bad, the stories they put. There's so many things. You get to know the outcome by the success of the program. Sure. Thank you.
No answer.
Can you repeat that?
My question was like you have some good points. Obviously, is IIUMSU is not the university itself, but we are student of UIA. This is the thing, and also our student unions' responsibilities to the concern of the students, to the university management and higher authorities. It's not by solving by ourselves. The student union, for the concept of the student union all over the world, it's not only solving the problem by ourselves and to whatever necessary or requirement that is concerned by students, is to bring to with a proper channel to proper body to solve it.
I think I understand.
And also for the next question that I ask you is, other than the program itself, what other things you are going to do? Because not only programs can solve. In my manifesto I mentioned intercultural engagement, not intercultural program. So what other things you are going to do other than the program?
Intercultural.
I said in my manifesto I mentioned intercultural engagement, but as you are mentioning about only the programs, other than the program, do you have any other plan? Like, do you have any other thoughts to do something? Because not only programs, not only events or sports want to unite the students. This is not a realistic solution.
Thank you, brother Hasan. I believe I answered your first question, and to solve your second question, what is there in your manifesto is not in my manifesto. So my manifesto is to bring more programs which is beneficial for students, not just a talent show or dance show. Have you attended masterclass?
This is also in my manifesto. The engagement, meaning the event, dialogue, speech, everything covered. But as you are only mentioning only the programs, so
no, the programs which I meant was beneficial programs. And back to my question,
is other than the programs is good. It's one of the way to unite, one of the way to create a unity, to create ukhuwa and ummatic spirit. But other than the programs, what other initiative you will take? Other than the program itself, like other than the cultural events, other than the masterclass, what other things, what are the initiative you are going to do? I think the question is clear.
Yeah, very clear. Thank you. Very clear. But as I said, as I'm trying to say, I have a plan for sure. Example, what happened in masterclass? That was not just a program. 50 financial students who are in need of financial students got 50 accesses to masterclass pass. Masterclass is a beneficial. I think almost everybody knows what masterclass is. You get to know. You get to learn things, you get to learn skills. So I think it is not just a program where it is just one day program. You get what I'm saying? For sure. My plan is, as I mentioned in my manifesto, when I was explaining my manifesto, the going global thing. I think TEDx is coming soon, and I believe your Issiaga, brother Issiaga is the program manager. So, bringing TEDx, a big platform called TEDx, TED Talk, into our university is really
Issue is also one of the program. It's also one of the program. I am asking, what is other than the program what you are going to do? What other initiative other than the program?
I believe till 10 o'clock you wouldn't find any answer from me.
Then I am sorry to asking you this question.
So that's it. Okay, finish up one? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Hamdan. Right now, same question goes to Brother Issiaga. You have 3 minutes. Do you want me to repeat the question?
I wrote it down. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum again. I love the energy in the room. I love the energy in the room. Yalla, 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 everyone, yalla, yalla. But before I say anything, I want to clarify 3 things. We are here. If we are in UAE, it's because we are Muslim by default. Don't come stand in front of people to show us that you are more Islamic than people and all of the rest.
Not all of the students in UAE are Muslims.
The second thing, thank you for that. I didn't know you were the one who did it, but it's okay. Second thing is what I want to clarify is what I did cannot define what I will do for the SU, what I will do for the international office. So, you know me, Mustafa. I have done so many
I know you as a
programs.
secretary for 𝐈𝐴𝐍𝐶, that's all.
I am the president of Toastmaster.
You are the secretary.
The president, current president of Toastmaster. You can see the difference between me and the other speakers because Toastmaster is a platform where I learn how to do this, how to talk to you, and I told you you have a love that you don't know how to express. Now.
As you mentioned, you are the president of Toastmasters, so we expect something more. Among 3, you should be the one who should lead the debate. We expect from anyone from Toastmasters. Wallahi, I promise from my side.
What do you expect? Come again? Take the mic, come again.
We expect the interruption. We expect anything, no shouting. Interruption should be in a formal way, in a proper way. From a Toastmasters president, we expect it.
Okay. Now, I do understand. It's not my first time having a debate, by the way. It's not my first time speaking in front of people. I do it every 2 weeks. So I asked him a question. He's the one who shouted, let's make a change. I told him it's not a shouting place, it's a debate.
It's the slogan, it's not shouting. If you don't understand the difference between a talk and slogan, I'm sorry.
Someone who cannot pronounce spirit. Okay, no. Serious part. Okay. You asked about how we can measure. I think people have problems, maybe with English or with something. Having programs is a kind of engagement. If you have a program, like he said, a masterclass, what do students do in a masterclass? They engage with one another, they discuss with the speakers, they exchange with Dr. Zul was there. We had the time to discuss with him and know what are his take about regarding different problems. That's the type of engagement. Local students were there, international students were there. So saying that a program is not engagement activity, I don't understand that.
Okay, I sorry to interrupt again. So I asked the other than the program. Program is one of the way for engagement, one of the way for create integration, one of the way to create unity and ukhuwa. But my specific question is that other than the master class or other than the events, like let's say Ummati, what other initiatives? Because I believe not only the programs cannot make the integration between local and international. It's not a proper way or proper plan. You know, you have to think about something big.
Okay, I will share my plan with you. My plans will consist of three areas. The first one on educational level, which again will bring me back to masterclass. Because what's the best platform these days to learn more than masterclass? I don't think there is. I said platform, I didn't say university. If you don't know the difference, you should. So the second point is on the welfare.
program. This is debate, not masterclass promoting.
You can learn how to deal with your anger on masterclass.
Okay. You know, UAE is the Oxford of the Muslim world. So if you are getting only masterclass, if you are forgetting your UAE,
Muslims are on masterclass, by the way, if you don't know. Yeah, they are teaching the masterclass. Hey, so no, Shiva, can you give him an account?
I was looking for the account premium subscription. You know, I have been using it since my high school, not from today.
I think you have been losing your money the whole time.
Right, settle down. Right, let's set up finish this point.
Yeah, please let me finish my point. No, I need to tell them how to measure what I did. How to measure is
Losing money better than wasting time to listen to you.
One minute. Finish up one.
okay.
Finish up one.
Okay, the second point I was saying is the welfare. Students have different interests in the university. We can engage, some people are interested, like me, in speaking. That's why I joined Toastmaster. With all the students that are in Toastmaster, we engage every day. I know that my best friend is a Malay now, Faiz, from law. I will not have met him if not through that platform. So we have to create, we cannot bring all the students together for the same thing. We don't have the same interest. Some people like reading books. Some people like watching movies. Some people like playing games. So we have to be able to bring all the students around their interest so that we can make sure that our program to engage with them is sustainable. Because I cannot bring someone who plays football to eat. He doesn't like eating every time. So I expect him to be coming back every time, you know? So every time we have a football game, he will be coming. And then every time I see him, that I know he has the interest of watching football. So, and that way I can measure whether my program or my initiative is sustainable. So the last point, through this.
20 seconds.
Okay. It's more than 20 seconds. Anyway. More than 20 seconds, so I will just drop it.
All right, thank you so much for this. Right, thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause to all the candidates, please? Right, so now we proceed to the Q&A session. You may, from the participants or the audiences, you may ask questions to the respective candidates. You may direct your question solely to any candidates, or you want all the candidates to answer. So please, the mic is there. Please, please go and ask questions.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good evening to everybody here. I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Zabihullah Salim, and I've been here since 2015. I studied law, and currently I'm doing my master's in law. After listening to the points shared by all of the candidates, I realized that some of the objectives are not very mature, and I have some questions to ask Brother Hamdan and Brother Issiaga in specific. So, Brother Hamdan, you mentioned in one of your manifestos that you wanted to facilitate the visa issues for students. But did you know that the travel and entry procedures are under the purview of the government? and there are laws and regulations that regulate this. So, to what extent can this objective be achieved? Isn't this beyond the power of the student union? My second question is that you wanted to integrate students to.
Can I answer one by one?
Sure, sure.
Is it to me or
No, I'll answer in one word.
Double shot.
So your answer was, can I sit and speak? Naveed? Can I sit and speak or do you want to?
Not for everyone. You don't need to stand up for everyone.
Right. So for this,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, mine is just one sentence. As you said, related to the visa issue and it is under the government. Did you know IIUMSU is an NGO?
I'll tell you why that doesn't matter. Because in the past, there has been many international students that were detained by police for not having their passports, although they were holding valid student passes. And UIA did not do anything to help them.
This is UIA.
So how would you solve this problem?
Student union
You
is
came
not
to solve
UIA.
it.
As I'm again telling.
The student union has failed to help the students out in the past.
No, did you mention student union or UIA?
Student union specifically.
Yalla, I love that question. He said, I'm done. He already answered. He said two, double shot. Someone said double shot, right? I was the second one.
Brother,
I am the second one.
brother,
Let me answer.
directly ask to the Hamdan,
He
not
said-
to you,
he
not to
said-
you, not to
no,
you,
no, no.
not to you.
You are not the one who has question. What's your problem?
We directly ask to the Hamdan.
Okay, set that answer.
Nabi.
Yes. I'm asking Hamdan the question, not you. So you have your turn. I have a few questions for you
It's
as well.
not fair, bro.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. It's not
He
fair.
said double shot.
The question, this is the rule. From the question, this
I have
question
a
to the
specific question for you
Hamdan.
as well.
You didn't say double shot. Just say
So
that.
he said,
No.
You did or
Why?
not?
You are a candidate.
Just say it.
Please take
My
your
first
mic.
question was for Dr.
Please
Hamdan.
take your mic.
And then you are talking about Islam.
Please take your mic and people answer. Why you are doing like this?
I think you mentioned the question was for me and Issiaga specifically, yes? Everybody heard that, right? And again telling you, regarding that, whatever happened, that was not my tenure. Inshallah, I will be, inshallah, if I get in that seat, I would push, as you said, the problem is from UIA and not from SU. So I would, from being an SU officer for international affairs, I would push the UIA management for visa unit by visiting the immigration myself and my team. So inshallah that clears the answer.
Not sufficiently, but okay.
Thank you.
Okay, my second question is to Brother Issiaga. I want to ask you, what are the existing barriers for cultural integration, and how do you plan to overcome issues in language barriers and culture?
As I said, I really love their law. They took time to prepare these questions before coming here. But I want to say something before I answer the question. You talked. Can you take them out, please?
No, actually, you have to respect the whole supporter. You have to respect the whole supporter.
Because it's okay. All those who are supporting me, please let me speak. If you are here to support me, let me speak. Let them shout. Okay, no. I will answer this question. I heard that student union cannot do anything. If you think, or one member of your team thinks that the student union is not a thing, why are you running? Why are you running in the first place? We are facing, as you said, intercultural barriers that you are facing because you are international like me. But there is no one way or any specific way to do it. We can break those barriers through talking to one another, through programs like this. Because if you are here, whenever you see another person outside, you will recognize them. That's the first step to breaking barriers. You know them, you will not judge them based on what you hear. You will learn it from them. If you want to know something about someone, don't go and read it or pre-prepare it before you come. Just ask the question.
Before you proceed to the next question, I'd like to add something. We are here to have a healthy debate for healthy election, and we are running for the election on the spirit of brotherhood. You know, it's not Issiaga is my opponent. It's something not like this. We are here for unity. We are here to create ummatic spirit. It's not to divide and conquer. It's not a healthy election. It's not going to be a healthy debate itself. I'd like to ask the chairman to, if this kind of thing happen, to interrupt. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hasan Al Banna, for mentioning a very important and valuable point, which I think we can all learn from. The second question is for Brother Issiaga as well. In your third manifesto, you mentioned that you wanted to connect the student union with international organizations. My question is, connecting student union with international organizations would compromise the element of freedom, because student union would have to adhere to the demands of the international organization. Do you agree or not with this statement?
I am not a law student, so I choose the Fifth Amendment. I'm not answering that question.
No, you have to answer. This is a debate. Your lack of answer shows your lack of knowledge, so you wouldn't be able to comment.
Ask a friend, ask a friend.
Okay. You prepare this question before coming. Let me explain my manifesto. No, come on. The problem is you have to listen to me.
Your problem is you don't know how to.
I'm not talking to you anymore. I know you have a problem to deal with anger, but that's your problem, not mine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Zali. I said IIUMSU, I will connect it globally. And international organization doesn't mean only the United Nations, the TED program, the masterclass. It means also other universities from other countries. For example, I know people from the University of New York. I have a friend. She is the president of their student union. I can collaborate with her. Doing that is also a collaboration, international collaboration. And by collaborating with the international organization will not, will not the program of our university, I think. Okay. But if you are talking on a legal side of the problem, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm not a law student, I'm an engineer. If you want to do math, you can come here, we'll do it.
Suppose you were elected as the chairperson for international seat for the student union, and you were given a chance to collaborate with an organization. Like you mentioned, you have a friend in New York, for example. She's working for a certain organization. That organization supports LGBT. Would you still go forward with the collaboration?
Of course, no. Come on. That's common sense.
That defeats the purpose. That defeats your third manifesto.
Did I say I will collaborate with all organizations? Did I say I will collaborate with all? I said with international organization. We have Arabs from Qatar. They are an international organization. If I collaborate with them, does that mean that I'm collaborating with? Come on, man. This is a basic level of understanding. If you don't understand English, take the dictionary.
Can I ask? Finally.
Guys, please respect to each other, respect each other opinion and each other comments. Like as I mentioned, yeah, thank you for that. Let's respect each other. As all of three of our manifesto is some kind of I have mentioned of unity. Let's not divide. Let's create unity among ourselves. No, it's not gonna be after winning the election. We have to show to the students that we are united from now. If you want to show it from after the election, it will be too late.
Okay. Actually, as a former, I consider myself as a former international officer now. I'm really proud that we have 3 candidates this year. Guys, I think the fight to have 3 candidates, we finally have international office. I know that some people, they don't appreciate the work that we did, but haters gonna hate, you know what to do. Anyways, my question is directed to my beloved brother Hasan Al Banna. Sorry, I have a problem in my throat. Salamat. Thank you so much. Okay, so basically you've been talking like IIUMSU Student Union is part of the management. And I believe Brother Hamdan, he clearly mentioned that IIUMSU Student Union is an NGO and an independent organization. So actually, let's be honest with all of you here. Maybe some of you are international, some of you are Malaysian students. The 50% of the issues, let's say 70% of the issues is from the management. How come you are so intact and you are so bind to this management and all of these issues are from them? Our first major task in this IIUMSU Student Union is to voice out the student concerns, is to solve the issues that the management couldn't solve it. Then what's the purpose of this IIUMSU Student Union if we were gonna follow the management? If I have a welfare problem, I'll go to staff. If I have a visa problem, I'll go to visa aid. IIUMSU Student Union is able to get billions. I'm speaking this seriously. IIUMSU Student Union is able to get hundred thousands of ringgit as a fund. And in our tenureship, we proved that we have helped financial difficulty students with more than 30,000 ringgits, not from the management. We brought it by our own, by sponsors and by things. But if the university is not helping us, how can I go there and tell them I have a financial issue, please help us, So this is the question.
Can you make the short end of the question, because you are saying about your achievement for student union and etc. Can you just mention about the question?
Actually, I'm clarifying the concept of IIUMSU Student Union because some people, they lack this knowledge. They thought IIUMSU Student Union is just a club under IIUM.
IIUM Student Union NGO is under registration under ROS, but there is an agreement between the student union itself and the IIM management. There is an agreement, and also that's why the SRC is in freeze. Last time during the workshop, Dr. Zul mentioned that SRC, not Dr. Zul, brother, what's his name? Yeah. So he mentioned that it's still under freeze, the SRC itself. So IIM, if they want, they can make it revive again, the SRC, like what is happening in Indonesia. They have SRC and also student union. And so I believe the student union itself, we could not only bring the issue to the student, what I mentioned in my first manifesto, to bring the students' concern to relevant authorities. This is my first point. Also, you mentioned it, you did it in your last tenure, that's great. And the second manifesto that I have is to establish one-stop center. One-stop center is not only going to UIA, going to UIA management, it's providing from ourselves, facilitating from the student union. Because my first manifesto, I already mentioned that if there is any issue with the students, welfare, visa, we'll bring it. But for second manifesto, it's going to be under the student union itself. That's why we are establishing a one-stop center. You have to understand the point.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry, but you didn't clarify this point. I mentioned, I believe everybody agrees here with me that the purpose of this stop center is to take the concern and pass it to the management.
This is my first manifesto, to pass it to the concern.
So even in the second manifesto, you didn't clarify this. If you clarify that,
that's why we are establishing something new that is not existing.
Okay.
The concept is new in student union itself. That's why we are establishing. Otherwise we are going to say to revive or something.
Okay, so let me cut to the chase. How could you help IIUM students outside of the management boundaries?
Outside of the management problems, as I mentioned, we are going to have collaboration. Last time, during the COVID-19, we had a collaboration at NGO for needy. If we have the president of the former president of IIUM Student Union, Brother Darwish, he is aware of that. We provide food basket to 100 of the students, and also we have other collaboration as well. During the COVID-19, I was part of the COVID-19 welfare team of IIUM and also the PAC of Mohammed Ali. So we have so many collaboration with outside NGO. So it's not going to be only about the management, it's going to be about the whole things, like how we are going to help the students. This is our main focus as the student union itself.
Hasan, all the things that you mentioned are under the management. Student union is independent. You can do achievement by your own. You don't have to refer to the management. Okay?
No, the things that needs to refer to the management, you cannot solve these issues. What Brother Zabi has asked the question to two of the candidates itself, that the immigration problem is under the immigration.
What a candidate, he refused me to answer that question. It was like it's the question is directed to Hamdan because he didn't have given him a clear answer.
Let me finish first, then you can continue.
No.
Because it's not relevant to us, relevant to my answer with okay, thank you. Okay, thanks. So the first the point that is there, bringing the students' concern. The visa matters you cannot solve without going to the visa unit. You cannot ignore visa unit or international office to solve welfare matters. To get scholarship from UAE, you have to go to the university management. You have to seek help from the relevant authorities. Otherwise, you cannot solve. If you ignore the management itself, then I don't know how we are going to help the students, because we are the students of the UAE, and whatever help we need is regarding the university basically. And other than that, we have the welfare and everything. Under the welfare is cover everything basically, and we will have through under the student union, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Hasan. I believe you didn't answer my question clearly. I'm sorry. So maybe I can pass it to Issiaga or Hamdan if you would like to answer it.
Yeah. Arrange a question, right? Arrange a question.
Yeah, if you want to.
Like you said, arrange a question.
Okay.
I am calm down. Do you need Panadol? You
Just need to be clarified. I'd be glad to clarify itself from here. Because if it doesn't clarify, then the students will get the question and will get the answer from me. So please make the point again. What you want to know specifically from me?
I've already asked the question.
I think as you said, you are not satisfied. So I'd like to want to satisfy you.
Okay, I repeat it again. I know that in some matters we have to refer to the management, but from what I understand from your explanation, from your great speech over here, that for everything you're gonna refer to the management. We have to work both ways.
That's why please refer to my second manifesto. Please read it again. I think you will get the clarification.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe you can ask the others to answer as well, because I want to hear from all.
Okay, thank you.
Brother Mike, I think.
Hold on, okay. It is very important that everyone here understands that the goal of student union is to have representative that can advocate for them. Because we have to be able to have a group of students that can push the administration to do what we want. If we have always to refer to the administration, as he said, go to the start, we have been doing that for so long. If that was working, there will be no student union today. SRC would have still remained. So I want everyone to understand that this is our union, first of all. And this is just a campaign where we are exchanging ideas. I know Hasan, I know Hamdan. We are running for the position because we think we can bring something to the union, and we cannot do that if all of us here, we are trying to, as I said, it's a law maybe not correctly conveyed, but I do understand. We need the representative, as Hashim said, be able to do our own programs without going through the administration. Because if they know we can do something without them, when we come to them with student concern, they will listen. But if every time we have to ask them, okay, international office, we want to do this, welfare office, we want to do that, why will they listen to us if we bring student problems to them? So please, everyone, if you have any questions regarding the student union or regarding anything, I'm always ready to debate. Thank you.
Test. Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Anas Hayyan, finally a political science student from 𝐈𝐈𝐔𝐌, not from Malaysia. I think it is a hard work that made International Affairs sit to be in IIUM Student Union officially currently. So thank you to my brother Rahman. I think I was one of the member of the student parliament. We debated a lot of times to make this possible. So EC, please make sure that all of us could ask and grill the questions to have the best international officer in IIUM Student Union. So my question would be that I don't like to talk about local and international, but the integration issues is something that is real. Agree or not? Yeah. So as an international affairs officer, what would be something or a sustainable change and solution to the issues that you would like to propose to all of us, all IIUM students, to ensure that the integration issues will not arise, happen, and will not occur again in the future? The hands or the balls in your court. You are the international officers, and you are already the main board of IIUM Student Union, and you can do much and better after this in the next 1 year. So please, all of you, if you have the answers, if we could have a sustainable solution for the integration issues in IIUM. Thank you very much.
Right, before you answer, I think to make it more practical, give some examples rather than talking about your ideas, aspirations, etc. But give some initiative, initiative and examples of programs or engagement that you want to do as an elected officer, just like the brother Anas said. So 2 minutes for each candidate.
Assalamu alaikum. Who asked the question? Can I have your name again? Anas. Okay, thank you so much for the question. As I was saying, the integration is a problem that we are all facing. I faced it my first semester, right? As a first year student, we all face it, not only internationals. But some examples of programs that we can do is this kind of programs bringing students together to have educational programs. I also explained to Brother Nabil when he asked the question how to measure the success of your plan is students have different type of interest. We have students from everywhere, from every country that like playing games. So those students, you make sure that you bring them around that interest so that it can be sustainable. Because for it to be, for us to have like continuity in our student union, we need to have plans that will not end after us, and have people that when they come after us, they are able to continue on what we built on. The second thing will be, personally, I like food, so I will bring people around food, because people usually don't fight when they're eating, right? They don't fight when they're eating, right? Yeah, so those kind of programs will help. For example, last Ramadan, I had the opportunity to participate in a program where we cooked a Malay dish, bubur lambu, something like that. Through that program, I met some local students that were the first time they met international students, because they joined online. The 2 years were all online. So those type of programs will bring students together, and we can make it sustainable, because it's easy to do. You can bring people every 2 weeks, every week, every weekend. You spend time together to do those type of programs. Thank you.
So the question was regarding sustainability in IIMSU, yes, related to programs and whatsoever. So as Brother Issiaga has mentioned, the Bubur Lamuk event, I personally attended and worked with them. There was plenty of locals and internationals working together, and we have served around 1,500 meals that day. That was a really good initiative what was done by our university, and to bring the more programs and more intercultural activities around university. I believe we have already started working on it. The previous tenure has already started working on it, and I personally would love to take it more further, have more engagement towards the university students, not only related to programs or whatever we have spoken about, even related to sports. Everybody has many different likings towards sports. I personally love futsal and football, but is there a tournament happening every 6 months? No, it happens yearly. So to bring integrity and involvement, and mainly in sports, we need to make more programs related not only to football. I'm not highlighting football. I'm highlighting all the sports. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Anas, ex-president of IIUMSU. As you mentioned, what's gonna be sustainable? As I asked previously, Brother Hamdan, other than the programs, what is your plan? So I think basically my other opponents, they are focusing on the program itself. But to make it sustainable, we have to understand the behavior. We have to understand what is the cause of the problem that is dividing us. We have to understand what is the expectation for and what is the feelings of all of the students from different culture. So as you said, we'll have a proposal, we'll have a proper survey, and with people's who is Brother Anas? Oh, okay. So with people's, we will understand, we'll try to understand people's behavior, people's feelings, and people's expectation. What do they mean? What they do understand about the integration? What kind of level of integration you want? So first we will do survey. I think we could do some kind of research with we have to get the students as well. So we will proceed with the proper plan to make it sustainable, not only focusing on certain program. I have the program and it's finished. The outcome is zero. Basically, the outcome is zero. So we need to have a proper plan with the understanding of the behaviors of the students, understanding of the behavior of the multicultural environment. Other than that, without that, I don't think it's going to be sustainable. If you satisfied my answer, you can.
Would you like to add something?
Hello. What is the camera? It should be posted on IIUMSU. Okay. Sorry guys, I just went to New Jersey, so I wanted to take a picture of it. So, my first question is to all of you, that you want your name in this university, that's why you are running this election? Yes or no? Just like me, I'm taking picture, it will be in IIUMSU, everyone will see me. Monjur is now in IIUMSU. He is already famous, you know him already.
To answer your question in one word, no. I am standing for this election to serve the community and my friends and the IIM students.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so, yeah, answer.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not doing it for the sake of fame. I'm doing it for betterment of the students. I'm doing it for the sake of Allah.
Good answer. We like it. I also like it.
We like you, brother.
The question is if I'm running for fame, right? I do think I'm running for problems because everyone already knows me in UAE. I don't have to run for the SU. So that's your answer. Thank you.
So my question is directly to Hasan Al Banna, brother Hasan Al Banna. You are the president of a club. It's called Al-Aqsa, right? And you are also from Bangladesh community too. So you're in everywhere. Like wherever I go, I see you.
So do I have to have another fame because you are seeing me everywhere? So already I think I have some kind of popularity.
Would you mind please complete my question first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. So I want to ask you one question that if you don't want the name and the fame, and you are like, I will do it for the betterment of the student. You're already in many clubs, many communities, many things you're doing. What do you do in the international affairs? What do you do in the international office? that time you don't think that your responsibility will be deducted in those clubs that you are already in, like a position, vice president, president, whatever it is. You would think.
Thanks for mentioning about my involvement. So every class, every society has their own role, one job scope, one mission, and one vision. For Al-Aqsa, we are focusing on the issue that is happening in Palestine, and this issue is happening in the wall about the wall, and also the cultural events. It's not focusing on students' problem. For International Students Club, as I am the vice president, ISC is the main body for all the candidate societies. All of the proposal and everything is more kind of the official work. But for the student union itself, student union is not under the university. If you're in other clubs or other society, there is a limitations. Let me finish my. There is a limitation. Student union is an NGO. You can release press release and everything. So when you are in the student union, you have the more power to bring the issues to the concerning authorities.
That means you are running.
I am running only for betterment of the students, only for helping the students. Nothing else.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, don't go. I have a question. Okay. So now my question is again to you. Sorry.
Can you ask all of the questions? I will ask one to consume time because we only have 4 minutes. For other candidates,
if you are running the election and you right now telling that I don't have time,
no,
what will you do after that?
My point was to ask.
I don't want your point because I am asking you a question. You are like,
Bro, I think you have personal problem with Hasan. Are you jealous from him? Are you jealous? Don't worry. I am vice president of Al-Aqsa also. We have the empty position now. I can give it for you for free. Don't worry.
The point I was mentioning to you. The point I was mentioning to you to ask all of the questions to me directly, like 1, 2, 3, straightforward. Like not I'm answering and you answering. That was my point because there is other people who also has the questions. I have to answer to them as well, you know. And also as we mentioned, the time is 8 to 10 p.m. The time is limited. So if you ask all the questions, I will
That's my question is to you that you are right now running for the international office. Okay, so and you are already in many clubs and many organizations. You're already.
Are you satisfied with my service?
I'm satisfied with the service. I'm satisfied with the service. But my question is to you is, if you get the post and you already have to follow some regulation, rules, regulation, other clubs. Are you?
Brother, please mention the name.
Please
mention.
Inshallah, okay, brother.
Stop asking kids question, please. We are really
Brother, inshallah, I believe. Inshallah, I believe we will help the students. We work together for betterment of the students. This is my main concern and my way of doing things. You know? So if you know that, as you said, there's many clubs in societies. If you go to Sitra, well, the Sitra club is cultural based. If you go to the state, and the club for different things. If you go to the centers, they have clubs for anything is done program. So the student union has a different role. So I think you should read the why UN student union has established. What's the purpose? I think if you know that, then you will understand why I am running. Thank you.
There's nothing I want from you, and you guys have just understood.
Just one.
Now I have another question to Brother Issiaga. Okay.
Right, okay, shut it down, Okay,
Okay, sit down, please.
Alright, gentlemen, if you keep on fighting, I need to dismiss all of you out. So please, respect the debate. If you have question, then you ask. If you don't have question, then you sit down. Thank you very much. Alright, proceed, sister.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a question to Brother Issiaga. I noticed throughout the debate that you have a habit of insulting other people's English pronunciation. Why do you think you deserve to be in the position to help students who come from different backgrounds with different levels of language abilities?
Yes.
Thank you for mentioning that. Why do I think I can represent all the students from all the different backgrounds, right? This debate, if you say it like that, it will look bad because they don't know the context. Going back to the context, I asked the candidate a question. He was supposed to answer my question, and he shouted. From that, I said what I said. You are not the one who asked the question. You were talking here.
Allahu Akbar.
I believe, sister, I believe you can understand why. Maybe I went out of my role as a representative of the students.
I don't think that justifies insulting people.
I do agree. I respect your view. As I told you, I am used to debating, so I respect different perspectives or different views and different backgrounds. So what you said, it's my bad. I said it, okay. But also don't forget the context in which I said it. And you can still see why I reacted the way I reacted. And to say I didn't insult him, I just reminded him the way he pronounced the word. Because if you say insult, for someone who was not here or who was not listening to what I was saying, he will think I insulted him, which I didn't do. I didn't insult him, I just... You want to say something? Come to the mic, please.
You insulted question here. Every question that own accent. Yes, you know, you just ask Brother Hamdan, the Indian institute. You can say sorry. You can say sorry.
Come. As I told you, I am always. This is what I do for living. You know, debating with different ideas. I don't mind at all. We can stay 5. Hash 24 can stay. I don't mind. But like I just want to remind the people on this row that this let me finish that this is our union, you know. People are standing to ask the questions. When you come here with the background or like with the mind of a position, taking a position, that's already a problem. That's something we want to solve. That is in his manifesto, bringing students together. But you are coming here with the mind of having a position and trying to, you know, shout at whatever he's saying. Mustafa, what he's doing, Mustafa knows me, not today. Just listen. And last thing I want to say, we don't need a candidate that needs these people to defend him. We need a candidate that can stand for himself. Because if the candidate needs his people to defend him, how is he supposed to defend us in front of the IIUMSU when he's alone facing the administration?
What policy is going here? What policy is going here? What policy is going here? You can't speak in front of them. You can very easy say I'm sorry. You don't speak. That's the question.
I don't respect people.
I told you 2 days ago.
I don't respect people. No, that's your point of view with me. You are free to have that stand. It's your choice. If you think I don't respect people, that's your choice. Because I know myself, I don't have to prove it to you, Mustafa. And it's not the first time I meet you, by the way. So, yeah.
Right,
Keep
settle
on
down.
shouting, and I'll send you fucking out. Okay?
This is public place. You have to respect the audience.
Yeah, I understand.
No, you have to respect the
Settle down, settle down, settle down.
Okay, I will apologize, but first respect the hall first. Yeah, I know. But you the one that first disrespect the hall. I'm the chairperson of the education committee. That's why I always remind them, please. Before anything, please respect the debate first, alright? Yes. You are the one who's shouting, alright? Alright, okay, I understand. So please, continue. I apologize for my language just now. But first, you guys are the one that respect the hall first.
You have to learn first, then you can tell.
Yes, okay, I understand. Alright? But please, let the sister finish her question. Let Siaga answer the questions. And then we can proceed. If you have any more beef, you can continue outside the hall. Because the room is going to close at 10:30. Everyone else have other questions as well. Alright? So please, stay calm. You ask question, you answer, and then you end. Any more? Outside, alright? That's all. Please respect the hall first. Okay, I apologize for the languages now, but please, we need to end today's as well.
Right, sorry. Right, sorry. Do you have any more questions?
I haven't asked yet.
So what's the question?
That was the previous sister.
All right, okay. Can we go here first? Right.
Hello and assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Rachel and I have a question for the three candidates. So first of all, I'd like to say that we all know that IIUMSU somehow being criticized by the offices because we are independent and we're criticizing the offices, right? Right? As independent organization, we're learning to see what's the anomaly in the organization or in the system. That's why offices dislike as an IIUMSU in some way. So, whatever your background, the candidates, if you are becoming the officer of international affairs, they might be framing you as the opposition, right? So my question is, how do you overcome with this if they see you as the opposition? So probably saying like, what kind of leader are you? Are you the assertive one? Will you be subordinated? Or will you undecisive? Or what kind of people are you? Are you playing in the politics or what? That's my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Rahel, for clarifying what the student union is all about. As a candidate, if I'm elected, inshallah, I am already prepared for being the opposition. I'm not running to be their friend, by the way. I know I will have to be to find common ground when it comes to solving student problems, but I'm not running by expecting to become their friend. I know my role as a union because I don't like to refer to my background, but I'm from a family where my dad is part of the union for a long time, so I know how union work, how you are supposed to be as a member of the union, how you are supposed to deal with the administration, negotiation, as you mentioned, like there are types of leaders when it comes to facing problems. So the type of leader I will be is I will take the student concerns by different surveys. I will bring them to the table to discuss with the administration university by not expecting them to become my friend, but by hearing them out, hearing the argument they have, and hoping that we find a common ground that will benefit the students and also benefit the university. That will be the type of leader I will be. I hope I answered your question. Thank you, Salam.
Assalamualaikum. And sorry, I apologize from the person who have done the language communication, what happened just now, because as brothers mentioned, this is an Islamic university. Even my own parents are watching from Bahrain in YouTube live, so sorry from his behalf. And to answer your question, not related to the background and what type of leadership we should have a communication. So yes, as Brother Issiaga mentioned, we should have a proper communication related to any issues towards the management, trust, and even the efficiency. Because we are in a university which is not only for locals, not only for Malaysians, not only for international, it's a unity of all of them together. So whatever problems the students have, it will come towards us. There will be a complaint box, complaint websites where students can raise their issues, and which will be inshallah solved by the IIUMSU. And if it is an international matter, international affair, it is my duty and the second officer's duty to solve this issue. I believe that answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Rasulullah, for the question. I will disagree with the first part of the question itself, is that to criticize the management. Criticizing the management isn't the job of the IIM Student Union. You know, we can do it in a proper way, with harmony. You know, we don't need to fight with the management if we solve the problem before it happens.
Criticize doesn't mean in harmony. We can do criticizing in harmony.
Yeah, we can do the criticizing in harmony, obviously. This doesn't mean if we have the good relation between the IIM management and the student union, I think it's gonna be more to students. Actually, if we have any problems from the students, any concern by the students, as the student union, if we raise it to the management, I think they will be able to solve. And as you asked the second part of the question, how I'm going to be leader or something. So I think I do everything from my side to solve the students' matter, inshallah, whatever is required.
Okay, sorry. I think we'll take another two more questions, right? Two more questions. So, yeah, okay. Please proceed.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Issiaga. My question is to you. We've been friends for a long time, so I don't want this to be the end of our friendship. But when I was the vice president of Al-Aqsa Society, you stepped down from your secretary position during the middle of the tenure, which inevitably made things difficult for us. So, as a part of the student union, how can you guarantee that you won't resign in the middle of the tenure and that you'll fulfill your responsibilities till the end?
I was expecting that one because Aqsa is my family. I was not expecting it from someone from Aqsa, but yeah, I was expecting the question. So, as I said, I don't like telling people on the programs I'm involved in, but now that I have to, last year I started my tenure as the Toastmaster president around the same time that I was the secretary of Al-Aqsa, and that was my second year I was serving Aqsa as a secretary. At the same time, I am part of an organization which is based in the US called BBAD, Building a Bright African Diaspora. Around the same time as well, I had to go, as I said, I had to go back to Guinea because of my passport issues and the visa issues. And I explained it to the president because Guinea is like 8 hours behind Malaysia. I was dealing with the classes, dealing with the time I'm sleeping here is the daytime. All those challenges were like the reason I tried to see. In Aqsa, by the way, we have two secretaries, okay? So I thought I was the president of Toastmaster. I had to take that responsibility. I was part of the people. I had to take that responsibility. And as a secretary, because we were two, I thought that, okay, that's the easiest part. I informed them with this challenge. I cannot respect everything we agreed upon as long as I'm in Guinea. But when I go back, maybe that was the reason. To answer your question, now I will not have any position. I expressly did it to not have any position by 3 weeks so that I can completely focus on the IIUM Student Union, inshallah. You can be sure that for the next year, if I'm elected, I will be fully focused on the IIUM Student Union. I hope that clarifies and answers your question. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Mustafa. I'm Vice President of 𝐈𝐓𝐔𝐌 also. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry that 𝐈𝐓𝐔 family involved in this. I don't know like how this happened, but at the end, I want to say and highlight something. First of all, the person who can't speak people in public, he will not respect in secret meetings. That's the first thing. Second thing, when someone says this law, it's a discrimination. So this law will not be involved in any student union, in any international office activity under student union, because he already highlighted this law. This is the second thing. The third thing, when you cannot say I'm sorry in public, it's very problem. So it's very easy to solve this issue. I met Issiaga last month more than 3 times. We didn't have any clash about elections. I called him 2 days ago. I just wanted to tell him, let's avoid any misunderstanding and keep our relationship good. But unfortunately, he didn't reply me back. So I want
you said you called me, right?
Yeah, I called you.
And you said I didn't reply back.
No, you didn't. You told me once I come to Gombak, I
But
will
you
meet
knew I was on
You told me once
campaign.
I come to Gombak, I will call you and you will call
You
me
knew
back.
that I was on campaign tour, right?
I called you.
knew that.
I called you, right? I called. This is not the way.
Did you know?
Issiaga. Let's very easy. Okay, what is the question? Actually, the question. What? No, I hear something here. Okay. The question is for Brother Hamdan actually. As a master student and you didn't study your bachelor here in IIUM, how do you know what is bachelor students suffering in IIUM? It's not only about visa, it's not only about academic fees, it's not only about welfare, it's not only about integration between local. You just arrived UIA last December. What do you know about UIA? This is the first thing. Okay? The second thing is, this is not attacking, friendly question, okay? The second question is, as a master student, what is your plan for BG students? I am planning to start my master here in IIUM, and I want to listen for BG students. What is your plan for them as a master student? Or you will stay with bachelor students who don't know, who just know last December and start talking about us? The third question is for Hamdan and Issiaga. They didn't see any vision for the future of international office. What they said, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward based on what happened, based on last year international office. Last year, I stayed in quarantine more than 5 months. No one from international office pick up call to me. I was in Zubair. My brother here in Zubair. I didn't receive any call from 𝘓𝐷 𝐸 or Hashim or any one of them asking, for example, how is your mental health? So as an international office, you want to continue this? I'm sorry, I will not vote for you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa, for having a resume of everything. The last question is for me. I want to answer it and then let Hamdan answer the 3 questions. You know, it's very easy to look at what people did in 1 year and point at one thing and say that thing is bad. And unfortunately, that's what we do as humans, right? They have done so many great things. I know so many people, they helped so many people. I can tell you, and my friends can also be tell you that when I came back from Guinea, they stopped me at the gate. I just had to call Brother Rahman. I called him. He went to Mahalla Mariam to take me, right, Brother Rahman? In that day, they wanted to take me to the health center and put me in quarantine. If you said such isolated cases and then you bring them, like make them a big problem, that's already a problem. Because they did so many things. How can you deny all that and just bring this problem? I agree. I do respect and I understand, because I've been in Ali also, like 10 days, 2-3 weeks in quarantine. They didn't call me. And you have to remember, they have so many students to cater for. They cannot. Let me finish. You ask the question without no one interrupting you, and you. They have so many students to cater for, and it's okay. Maybe some isolated cases will always remain. No one will come here today until Qiyamah. No one will come here and tell you that he will do something and everyone will agree. If everyone agrees with what you are doing, it means you are not doing. You are doing nothing. I'm telling you, as a leader or in any position, you say something, everyone like yes, they are mocking you, man. If you are doing something, there will always be people that disagree. That's why I really appreciate people like disagreeing with me today. And I didn't say this role to mean what you meant, but interpretation differs. I understand and you respect that. Thank you. I hope you get your answer.
Assalamualaikum, Brother Mustafa. To answer your first two questions, I think that was directed to me. There is no time, but I will answer your both the questions together. So the second question, to start with PG students. Alhamdulillah, you're going to study PG next year, I believe. So there will be a program for students to know how and what all programs are applicable and available in this university for any kuliya. And that will be done with the collaboration with, as yesterday Brother Zaim and a few of the other vocab members have told, the improvement of the website and the improvement of how students can know more about the IIM University itself. And coming back to your first question, you directed that will I be focusing on undergraduates or postgraduates? For sure, all students. For sure, all international and all Malaysian students. But and to know that you have told that I have reached Malaysia last December, that is not a disadvantage for me. For me, the concerns are students currently what they are facing right now. And as I mentioned, I will be developing a complaint system for all the concerns for all the international and all IIM students, so that I personally know each and every student's problems and concerns. I cannot go to each student and ask, do you have any problem? Do you need any help? Can I help you? That is why a complaint system is being organized in my tenure, where all the students can register their complaints, register their concerns. So me, my team, and the other officers can know what are they facing, because we are student union. This is union where all the students, they are the members of students, members of SU, and we are there to serve them. And as being one true Ummah, we have to stand together to help the students of IIM students. So as my slogan itself says, unity is strength, unity is strength, and unity is strength.
Okay, sorry. We have one last question from Radu, but does the candidates agree to answer, or do we want to add? Yeah, yes. Okay, so we have the last question. Please.
Okay, I actually want to ask I got a question for all the candidates. So, but first of all, I'm a first year student and I face a big problem. And I believe that all the first year students facing the same problem. The problem is the gap between the juniors and seniors due to the COVID-19. So, are you guys going to close up the gap between juniors and seniors? If you can. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I just want to answer this and go run to Osho. So, as you mentioned, between juniors and seniors, there's a gap. So, to close that, we need to come up with something very unique where all are integrated and you come together, and there should not feel any gap between them. Because this question has been asked, same question have been asked during my campaign tour in Kuantan, and I believe this question was not to me. I think Brother Alif had received this question, and he had also mentioned that we need to come up something really unique and really good so that we can solve this junior and senior problem. So, because that is not a major issue and that is not related to international affairs much. But as I said, I'm not only running for international students, I'm running for the whole IIM students. Whether they are from Gombak, Pago, or even Kuantan, any concerns related to admission, visa, or even intercultural problems are all welcome to the office, and my doors are open for any concern which I would really try to help them solve. Thank you. Sorry, I need to leave to washroom.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you for the question. This one, once again, will take me to one of my experiences. I didn't want to plan. I didn't want to explain what I've done, but this one, I had the opportunity to be the head of international office in the Kulia base, KBS as they call it. We face the same problem. I know all the KBS, Kulia-based societies are facing the same problems, and even the other societies are facing the same problem, and how to close that gap between new and old students. I faced it myself when I was a student. I do believe on leveraging on the resources that we have. As Students' Union, we will be on top of the KBS. We will use the KBS to programs or because the KBS, they are directly related to each kulia. They have the direct access to data, the name of the students, their year of study and everything. So we will leverage that resource that we will have to try to we can create WhatsApp groups, or in engineering we have mentor-mentee programs. Those will facilitate that. If I don't know if that exists in other kulias, but we can have the same thing in other kulias. I do know that international students usually don't attend the mentor-mentee program. Some of them don't even know that it exists in engineering. That can be one of the things we can do if I'm elected in office. I hope that answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Hussein. It's actually nice questions. If I have to say my experience from back in my country, it does exist, the gap between the seniors and juniors. But what I have been experienced throughout my life, 4 years of journey anyway, actually I never face it, honestly, in my kuliah. And also, I don't think that there is a gap between, let's say, I have friends from masters, I have friends from fourth year, even I have friends from PhD. I don't think in a way it does exist, because we have the open credit system. So students from first year, they can able to take the courses from second year or third year if they doesn't have any pre-required courses. And also we have 2 curricular subjects, especially Usra. I think Usra is one of the thing, the study circle to close the gap between the seniors and juniors, because in Usravati, students from the all levels join. They discuss with each other. This is one of the way to interaction. And also, if you saw the Mohalla, the seniors and juniors, the local and international staying in the same place. There is no separate block or something. So, and also, as I mentioned, the close courses. It's not only about Usravati, it's about the leadership courses, the family management courses. If you go to badminton, any other courses, there is no gap among senior and junior. But if it does exist, inshallah, we'll have some programs, especially some initiative to close the gap. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone again. I just want to talk about, as Mustafa said, not being able to say sorry in public is a problem. And I'm someone who really appreciate criticism. I don't take them bad because I know that's the only way I can improve as a person and as a leader. So thank you for that. I want to address the second thing about one sister from here who reproached me by, on mocking people on how they pronounce things. You know, sometimes you take things on this level, but the people you are telling it to, because I do it every time with my friends. It's not because, as I heard some people say, because we have different accents. We have different accents. I do it because Hasan is my brother. I know Hasan a long time ago, since my first year. I know Hasan, we know each other. We've been in every program together. So maybe it was not the right time or the right place to do it. So I'm so sorry for that. I would like to apologize for anyone that got offended because of that. So one last thing I want to highlight is, this is our union again. We are all here because we want something better for the students as a whole. So as a candidate, I'm open to meet anyone to discuss anything with me regarding my programs or anything. You can criticize me, I will not take it personal. Allah. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time.
So I got 30 seconds to conclude. So yeah, you guys have heard me speak. I've heard you have your concerns. Alhamdulillah, today's concerns was heard. Change cannot be done within one day. It takes time. It cannot be done overnight. It cannot be done within 1 week. But inshallah, with all your support, because union are student union members. You guys are the student union members. So without you guys, there is no IIMSU. You guys are the foundation. You guys know the problems, where to bring, who to approach. So without taking any more time, thank you so much for coming. Have a nice day.
Okay, my last statement would be thank you everyone again for coming here today, and also my apologies if there is any shortcomings from my side, from any of the remarks. I am sorry. And also the thing that I would like to mention, the election is not a place to in UIA basically, because our mission of UIA is the Khalifa Amana. So we shouldn't be divided because of the election. You know, we should be united. As three of us, the main focus is the integration, unity. So we should be united among ourselves. We shouldn't be divided. We shouldn't be make any comments that you are from this team or from other team. There is no team. We are all students and we are on the same team. We are students. We are in the same union. And also the last thing, choose your candidate based on the experience, based on the track records, and based on their honesty, integrity, based on their remarks. Even in the today's debate. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, sorry. Once again, can I hear a round of applause for the candidates of International Right, okay, right. So now we have a photography session. So please, everyone, squeeze to the center so we can take picture together. Please, everyone, squeeze to the center. Squeeze to the center. Let's go. We don't have time. Let's go to the center. Squeeze. Okay, let's go.